We just got some insane new collections here at Bry's Comics. For the first time in a long time, I actually got goosebumps unboxing one book, and I've decided to keep it for my PC, so stay tuned till Monday's video. I'm going to do another video on some of the books that I've started to keep. Now that we're seeing some, stability in the market, there's some books that come through that I just can't let go of. But in this video, we're going to take a look at this one collection in particular. I'm going to start with an all-independent collection, all independent comics, all high grade, almost all of them are 9.8s, and it's probably the rarest collection to ever come through the shop. Just some really unique independent stuff that's hard to find, and then in addition, hard to find in 9.8. So really excited about that one. I also just paid $70,000 for a collection with all the major keys, DC, Marvel. No blue chip grails in that collection, but just like all of the major keys. And then I'm also starting to get all the trade books in, a bunch of grails and stuff too from all of those mega grails I had a couple weeks ago. So we have a ton of awesome inventory right now. So make sure you're signed up to that newsletter at bricecomics.com. It's where you get first notification of new stuff. I'll be listing probably 50 to 75 books every day around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. The first thing in the morning, I just go and I start pricing them, and then I send an email out. So it'll be like that for the foreseeable future here because stuff just keeps coming in. So this Friday over on Whatnot, there's a link down in the description for $15 towards your first purchase. We're gonna do the Daredevil Whatnot trading pack rips. I only have 2 boxes this time. I'm going to use one of these boxes, which has 3 packs inside, as buyer appreciation giveaways. So I'm going to give away 3 packs. So you can just stop by and win one of these for free, and then I'm going to sell 3. Whatnot did not ask me to help promote this one like they have in the past. I don't know what that's about. There's been no communication about it. It's possible that it was just something that, just slipped under the radar. It's also possible that they weren't entirely happy with my last promotion of the Hulk packs. So I'm not sure what happened there. It's really difficult when, as a YouTuber with especially with my business and my channel, is like I've done one other promotion, collaboration with somebody way early on, and I hated it. I hated working with them. They had all these notes, and they, it just wasn't worth it, so maybe it's a good thing. I just do my own thing, stay in my lane, do that. But anyways, so starting off with some magazines here, and this very rare, hard to find I, Lucifer #1, a Drew Hayes story, cover and art, all black, completely black back cover, really cool collectible. Windblade #1 in a 9.6, signed by Barry Blair. First appearance of Witchblade, only issue. It's got incredible art. I mean, look at how cool the art is on that one. And you can it's just got independent written all over it. Greed #6 from Bleak House Publishing in 1989. This is the last issue in the series, and it's the first appearance of Milk and Cheese, baby. A little ad on the back for Fly in My Eye. It's always worthwhile to check the backs of these independent stuff because you get some really cool art. Love and Rockets #1, we got a 9.2 and an 8.0. Some of this stuff isn't super rare, but I just want to show it as like this one collection of just how neat it is that it's completely independent and, very high grade. Hardboiled #1, Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow story. We got issues 1, wraparound cover with some classic Frank Miller art. Typical Frank Miller style. #2, #3, and that's it for that one. I think that's the full series there. This is an interesting one. Farlane the Goblin, #1 from Studio Farlane in 2013. Just an interesting, it's a book about a fairy tale about finding your forest. And we have 2 copies here of issue #1 and 1 copy of issue #2. All right, let's get into the comics here. This is an incredibly rare and high grade, and it's also signed by Sam Keith. It's primer #5. And it's the first published Sam Keith art and the first appearance of Max the Hare. So for Sam Keith fans, this is a must-have. Very, very cool to see this one. Never hurts to have a sexy lady on the cover. 30 Days a Night Red Snow Convention Edition. Not a super valuable book, but not something you see every day with a red foil. Flaming Carrot #16, the first appearance of the Mystery Men. Dark Horse presents 5th anniversary special, No Numbers. This is the first Sin City by Frank Miller. Dreamwalker number 0. This is one that you definitely don't see often. From Avatar Press, 4-page The Goon Preview by Eric Powell. So that is the draw on this book. And 30 Days of Night number 1. Ben Templesmith on the art on the inside and Ashley Wood on the cover from 2002. Scud, the Disposable Assassin, number 1 from Fireman Press. First appearance of Scud, 9.8. Zen Intergalactic Ninja from Stern and Coat Publishing. The first appearance of Zen, and you get this wraparound cover. I mean, I bet, show of hands, who's actually knew about this book in the comments. I actually do want to hear from you if you've seen that before. The Crow number 1 in a 9.8. James O'Barr, first appearance of the Crow. Well, actually not the first appearance. I think we're gonna possibly have the actual first appearance, but the first ongoing issue and the book to have when it comes to the Crow, in my opinion, in 9.8. And again, an all-black cover, really hard to get in high grade. Harbinger number 1 in a 9.8. Amazing Heroes number 97 from 1986. This is Morin Gibbons' The Watchmen. We're going to get to some really exciting stuff here. Grendel number 1, that's exciting. You do not see that every day, available at a fair price. 9.8 white pages, Origin of Hunter Rose. Very, very cool to see this. First time that's come through the shop. Lady Mechanica number 0 in a 9.8. Hench Girl number 1. This is a really cool story by Kristen Gudsnuck, and it's been optioned, so there's spec behind it, and the spec has completely died, so it's probably a really good time to pick that up if you're, if you're specking on it at all. 4Kids Walk Into a Bank Preview number 1, manufactured with 163 out of 200 printed on the back cover, which is very cool to see. This is also an optioned indie and some spec behind this. There's Hench Girl number 1, cover A. And Creatures of the Id number 1. This is the first appearance of Madman, a Mike Allred story and art. Very, very cool. Also optioned, I believe. Avatar Illustrated, no number, 1-page Goon Preview from Avatar Press. Now this one is super cool to see. I've never had this come through the shop either. Mask number 1, the first appearance of Lieutenant Kellaway as the Mask, with an awesome cover there. Very cool to see this. Making me want to go rewatch the movie. Marvel Paragon Collection, Chris Claremont number 1. It's got a 60-cent price tag, but it's a book from 2021, and it's just very cool. I had never seen that. And there it is, folks. Primer number 2 in a 9.8. The first appearance of Grendel and Argent in a 9.8 white. And this one is probably going to go to my friend Harvey, Chloe's Comic Swag. I'll put it up on the screen. He is known to do a lot of trading, but so possibly if you were just like foaming at the mouth for this, maybe you can get him to trade with you or something if you've got some juicy stuff to offer. Dead World number 10 in a 9.8, and I do believe that, bam baby, that is one of the main draws of this, is this back cover featuring the Crow. Grendel Warchild number 1 from 1992. I'd never even heard of this book before. Boris the Bear number 1. Justice Machine Annual number 1. First appearance of the Elementals. Some swastikas on the cover there. Cry for Dawn number 1. First appearance of Dawn, with this awesome back cover as well. And remember, you can go to brycecomics.com if you want to get a closer look at all these. I got a magnifying feature on the website so you can zoom in and really enjoy all of this artwork. The Goon number 1, first full appearance of Zombie Priest, and an epic cover by Eric Powell. Madman number 1 from 1992. Mayhem number 1. I believe this is actually technically the first appearance of the Mask, if I'm not mistaken. And another copy of The Crow number 1. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and The book obviously has corrected a lot since the movie came out. It might be a good time to pick this up if you've been on the fence about it. I mean, I remember when it was hitting 13, 14,000, and you know, it's come way back down to around the $6,000 range. I'll probably have this available for trade as well. And I think they set up the movie for a sequel. I certainly hope they do one, because I really, really enjoyed that movie. Here's something I've never seen come through the shop. Previews order form number 370. I believe this is the first cover appearance of Something is Killing the Children. Like the first consumer-facing image of Something is Killing the Children. And what's awesome about it is it's the actual art from first print cover A. So this might have to stay in the PC. I don't think I would be willing to part with this at today's prices, because I've just never ever seen one in a 9.8, and let alone just I've never even seen it in general. But to have it in 9.8 is the move to make. I mean, I wouldn't want this in like an 8.0. You know, sometimes you can get these affordably, but it'll be super low grade. Here's Batman the Max Arkham Dreams #1 from IDW, sketch cover with custom art here by Sam Keith. Very cool to see that. Faust #1. Omega #1. This is limited edition. It says name and 423 out of 1,000 written on a sticker and attached to the interior front cover. So this could possibly get the JSA gold label if you send it back in. And very cool back cover as well with Faust on it. Dark Horse Presents #10 and Stray Bullets #1 from 1995. All right, so that's it from that one independent collection that I paid over $30,000 for. Now we just have some miscellaneous from different stuff that's been coming in from trades and other collections. Wolverine 145, I was very tempted to keep this, still might. Signed and sketched by Bill Sienkiewicz, 9.8. This, in my opinion, is, to me, a bigger feather in your cap than a Hulk 181. There's well over 10,000 copies of Hulk 181 on the census, and there's not that many of these, and especially not signed. I mean, there was a signed copy of this, signed by Bill Sienkiewicz, that went for, I think, $14,000 in the comic book boom. So I think certainly a worthy book to put together a trade for, to be one of the only people in the world that could say they have a signed copy of this. And he did this amazing sketch. I love how it's got him smoking, because to me, that is Wolverine, you know, and you don't get that all the time now with modern comics and stuff. They kind of tone it down with Disney being involved with Wolverine. So very cool to see that. How about Tales of Suspense #39 and a very affordable 1.0 with the double quotes. So if you didn't know, there's 3 things that are super rare about this book. One of them is if you get both quote marks on the other on this side of Iron Man. Typically it's cut off. The other one is if you get a little bit of blue from under the table right here, which this one does not have. And the last one is white pages. And when you have all 3, that's when you have a white whale, where you have the double quotes, blue table, and white pages. But this is a very affordable entry-level copy of that. Marvel Spotlight #5 and a 7.0 for Ghost Rider. Avengers #1 and a 6.5, the custom label, which looks really good because it matches the outfit here of Thor. Very cool to see that in such high grade. And Journey into Mystery 83 and a 2.5. First appearance of Thor. All right, so now we're just going to kind of go around and just do honorable mentions here. Edge of Spider-Verse 2, the Greg Land variant cover. I have it listed for, I think, $3,400, which is the lowest that's been in a long, long time. How about Something is Killing the Children, the Black Cape Comics edition? There's a couple copies of Nyx 3, first Laura Kinney on the website right now. Let's see, in this box we've got some that'll probably be available for trade as well. X-Men 94 and a 9.6 with white pages. ASM 13 and 8.5 with white pages. ASM 129 and a 9.6, first Punisher. Star Wars #1 in a 6.5, the 35-cent price variant. I haven't checked the notes on this. I think the reason it's a 6.5 is from some staining and stuff. So this book goes up in value at every increment of the grade. I think this is like $4,000 or $5,000 for the 35-cent and a 6.5. So if you could bump that and get some of those stains out, you could have some equity in that book. Bunch of amazing, awesome key issue comics in there. We don't have time for all of them. This copy of ASM 300 really stood out to me because it's signed by Todd McFarlane with the full Todd Sig and David Micheline and Stan Lee, and it's a newsstand. Very cool to see that in 8.5. I think we have several copies right now. Here's a 9.6 white page newsstand signed by Todd. ASM 50 and an 8.0 first Kingpin. Giant size X-Men #1 and a 9.6. Yes, please. How about ASM 129 and a 9.4? How about a Hulk 181 in a 9.4? Those should all be available for trade. FF5 and a 4.5. We're always getting a ton of Spidey keys. You go check BryceComics.com for what we currently have. That stuff always goes really quick. New Mutant 98 in a 9.8 first Deadpool. So this is all stuff that all of this will have been listed the week that this video comes out. A couple of them might go over to next week. And then this is all the stuff that's currently listed at BryceComics.com. And by the time you're watching this, a lot of this will be gone, and I'll move this out, and then we'll move the other stuff in. So it's just a nice flow and some awesome new stuff hitting the site. So very exciting times here. If you're looking to sell your collection, I'd love to work with you. Shoot me a list and I will shoot you an offer. Also, if you're looking to consolidate some of your collection into some Grail books, I think it's a very wise decision. You know, I only add about 20% to the value of the book to get that trade, and we have tons of opportunities for trades. Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.